Another overtime show. Sorry, I haven't been with you this week. I've been wrapping up another production here in Los Angeles. That's the main A hustle. This is the side hustle, right? This is the B hustle. The thing we do sort of off hours. And if it could be our full-time thing, amazing, because, this stuff is fun. But looking for value in sort of in this space is a challenge, and it does take time. And so... if you'd like to come and intern and you live in the Los Angeles area, please comment down below. Or if you can just message me, that'd be amazing. Today we're going to talk about, sorry, you hear the rap party going on just outside. Talking about Solana, Solana's got some hits now. And, I think with CryptoCities, CryptoCats not so much, but, we'll examine both of those. SOLCities, which is very close to CryptoCities. Saying this 10 times fast. It's a very... people were like, oh, this is just kind of a ripoff, but I think SOLCities is doing something interesting because, hey, they're incorporating DeFi, and they are using it as a game. And so games that I don't know, I got excited about playing when I had time for games before production. And then everyone keeps asking me about Acala or how to stake and how to take part very early on in sort of the Polkadot system. And it's something that I love. I love the Polkadot system. I love the Cosmo and the Atom system as well, because I love the vision that they had early on. Let me say early on, months ago. But they their teams that were just like, these chains should not be. Everybody shouldn't be on the same train. If I'm trying to do some Uniswap, and I have to deal with Mechaverse dropping, or just something in the size of Mechaverse. They did theirs very well with their auction or their reservation system, or lottery really. But if you have a big drop and you're trying to deal with DeFi and the same thing, that's frustrating. You're just like, I just want to trade my thing at this timing that, I know is right. And so that's why you have these blockchains like Cosmo that are exploding. And I've kind of, covered up the channel. When we saw a sea of red, there were like these green candles that were just kind of like popping out. And you're like, why? They were like buoyed by something other than the marketplace. And it was because everyone sees the vision for having multiple blockchains working interoperably with each other. It's such a powerful system. And Polkadot's about to launch theirs, and the first chain that's going to be, or the first project that is going to be on their Parachain, meaning they have their own blockchain, is going to be Acala. And if you're staked with Acala, it's staking with Uniswap early on. You're going to get some tokens, and you're going to assume that there's going to be a valuation, no financial advice, incorporated into their growth, but you will have to stake for 2 years. So don't get the term of Parachain auctions. Don't be too intimidated by it. It's just staking. It's just like, here, hold my Polkadot for 2 years and give me your coins. How are you going to make me rich? This is what we're going to ask ourselves as we look at these projects. We're not going to get rich with Solana CryptoCats. It's I think it's a cool little project, and I'm bringing it on because this is the typical Solana project. I feel it's like got some cool art. They actually did have problems minting, and you can mint them right now. If you get your Phantom wallet or your Solana chain wallet, they're still open, and probably for the next I think they're going to do till tomorrow at 5 p.m. is where they're going to close it off. So you can go mint this right now. This is why I do this live, guys. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you're getting this 2 weeks from now and you missed out on, what is it, 2 Sol? These mints where, they're I don't know, for here it's like interesting. They're more upfront. I like this breakdown here. 50% goes to running costs, collaborations and partners. 20 to cat charities, because we talk a lot about like these people getting involved in charities and saying, oh, this is really for charity. This has nothing to do with me making the 50%. And then 30% to NFT holders. So this is the thing. I'm seeing this more and more within Solana projects. They're trying to find ways of giving back to the holders straight up cash. And so we'll go over how SOLCities is doing it in this very interesting quasi DeFi until they can actually get some traction, because they're making a ton of money. Why not give some of that money back to holders in a bit of a dividend? Now we're getting really into securities territory, which is a bit frightening, honestly, because my good friend, the SEC lawyer, will probably come and shut this entire episode down if she knew I was doing it. But so we here have the, this is the thing with Solana. It's just like, you look at the followers, they got plenty of followers here and on Discord. It's a bit surprising that they didn't sell out. I think they just had problems with their mint. And here you go. So they're trying to do a make good. You can tell it's just not going well in terms of the outages, and people wanting to get, corrupt cat. I keep calling them crypto cats, corrupt cats. And so they've reset themselves, and they're going to allow people to mint until tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then they'll burn the rest. I think it's really tough when you've gone and done a mint and it's not gone so well. And so they're trying to recover. But if you see value in an early project on Solana, this is what I like about Solana right now. There's a lot of eyes on it. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of market action. Look at this. The corrupt cats I bring to your attention, because look at how many eyes are on this. So you got like 31, 49 with a couple of hearts. Now, is that a lot? If you look at Ethereum, if you look at OpenSea, it has to be a really hot project to even get 15, 20 eyeballs on it on a specific NFT. And then, maybe 10 likes for some of the better projects on certain ones. So there's a lot of eyeballs on it and on the marketplace, and there's not a lot of selection. It's not as wide as a swath as OpenSea. And so you have in it some visibility if you're a creator, and a lot of creators are. If you're looking at the sort of the calendars of these projects, they're all in Solana. A lot of them, I'd say about 70% of the new projects that I see on a daily basis are going Solana, because they understand there's a lot of eyes here, there's a lot of speculation here, and more so. And there's a lower barrier of entry. I mean, we're talking about 1 to 2 Solana, Solana being $150 each. Here's a corrupt cat's 10 Sol. It's at the one of the most rare things you can get, which is tough. It's hard to see actually on the marketplace, which is a challenge so far in sort of the Sol marketplace of people of NFTs that have the Hawaiian shirt versus the Lightning, etc. And so you have to kind of go back to the website. And so as a Solana creator, you have to create sort of your own rarities charts and rarities tables. And so, the clothing, and so you kind of have to cross-reference things to find and understand your rarity. And so the Solana bandana, 0.03% have that. And so very, 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 very rare. Very rare. I can never talk like this late. But you're looking at, 10 Sol for a very, very rare one. And, at $150, it's $1,500 high, but is it Mechaverse high? No. By the way, did anybody get a Mechaverse comment down below? I covered it very early on because I knew it was going to be an exciting one, but I didn't want to push the hype because it's just it was such an insane one to even try and get a hold of. So I didn't really push for to add to the hype. I mean, everybody, I think every influencer, not that I'm an influencer, but every person with a YouTube channel was covering it, Megaverse, because it's an interesting, it's an interesting project. SOLCities, I came across, and I was I love crypto cities on the Ethereum blockchain, and so when I saw SOLCities, I was okay, it's another one of those sort of rip-offs that you find on the Solana network in their marketplace. And so, I was just kind of I sort of blew by it, and then, but I kind of gave it another, I saw that it had hit quite a high amount of trading. And so Mechaverse did about $50 million in its first day. That's a lot of money. That's Hollywood blockbuster money. SOLCities did about $3 million. which is not bad. I mean, for a smaller marketplace, for something that's, not nearly as hyped, it's still doing a lot of business. And so that caught my eye. And so in the first 24 hours, they made $3 million. And so I started looking into, why that would be, because to me, it looked pretty obvious that it was sort of a CryptoCities grift, or just sort of lift, if you will. You can see sort of here some of the numbers of how the average sale, and just in that small time, you're doing 2.5, but they ended up doing even more in that 24-hour period. So they did 3 million here. I calculated out 2,400,000, and that's just a few hours after. So in examining it, I was like, it is cool. I think what then drew me in further, if you look under the rocks there, you see it looked like ornamentation, but those are actually traits. These cities all have traits. And so these traits relate to a game. And so the little, vegetation, some have gold ore under them. And so for me, like old school World of Warcraft started coming into my head. It was just like, all right, I get these guys to mine over here, and we'll build a sort of a barrier here, and let me get some defenders on this ridgeline here. And so it's a strategy game. Apparently, you combine these cities. See, this one has gold ore that have certain traits. And so in a game. Now, is the game done? No. Much like every other project. Like, oh yeah, it's on the roadmap. We got some gaming coming on the roadmap. It's like, okay, cool. What's it going to look like? I don't know. But do I find it here? What I did find was that while they are going to, highlight it here. Sorry guys, can't find it right now. But while you're holding, they're going to pay you a dividend, and so they're going to do a quasi DeFi of all the royalties. Now, mind you, this is $3 million in royalties. If they're paying it out to holders, at 10,000, this is not a bad royalty. Now, how often, this is sort of the question, but they seem to be committed to giving a dividend. So yeah, 50% of royalties. So that's $1.5 million back to holders. So if you're like at 10,000, is this, $150 that, you're getting within 24 hours of buying it? So you've already earned the money that it costs to buy the thing, roughly. If it's at 2 SOL, half 50% is in your pocket after just that time. How this is going to be executed is going to be interesting to see. Might be interesting one that I pick up just to kind of observe how they're distributing the royalties, the times that they're distributing royalties. But that's, I don't know, again, we're sort of pushing into sadly, these elements of regulation. But at least we're being creative, and this NFT is answering the question that I always ask: how are you going to make me rich? How are you going to build, utility into this NFT? How are you going to build value into this NFT so that I can sell this at 10 times, 100 times what I paid for it within weeks? No, but within a certain amount of time. Or are you going to make this environment fun? Are you going to make this game fun? Are you going to make this enjoyable for me to hold on to and be able to floss, on my Discords? So having that is kind of an interesting proposal. So let's follow that. Let's follow Solana. I'm interested now more so in Solana because I'm seeing this type of thought process within those projects that give me hope that we're just not ripping off CryptoCities. We're just, we're taking some of the things that we learned in one thing and we're adding it to another and creating value. And so, and that type of value is the thing that gives you, a Bears Deluxe, etc. It's that value that people understand. Like, oh, hey, this is more than, what's being just a pretty picture. So, okay, just quickly, I'm going to run through Acala. So you go to the website, get on their list, and then they'll give you a breakdown. They'll give you a checklist of how to prepare for it, and there's a community call coming on the 12th that will, answer questions. And I think it's great to show up at those events, because then you feel like you get more of a sense of the massive community that's getting behind this Parachain auction. And so you have 138,000 of your good friends will be there, and all earning this 10% bump in ACA rewards. So the coin you're going to be able to stake, and then you're automatically going to get 10% more than somebody, because you're on the wait list, more than somebody else who's jumping in on the Parachain later in the game. And so and there's a finite time to the Parachain auction, so it's a staking process. Again, don't be intimidated. It's staking. It's just in a finite window, and for 2 years. And so on this particular Polkadot Parachain, well, Polkadot in general. So Kusama is a bit lower in its barrier, so it's like 9 months. So 2 years. You'd have to really believe in this network. You put it in for 2 years. They're going to give you a bunch of ACA tokens. They're going to give you 10% more because you're in the wait list. And this is essentially going to be, again, this kind of breaks down Polkadot and how it's a bit different than Ethereum, for instance. And it's brought to you by Gavin Wood, the ex-CTO of Ethereum, if you didn't know. And because you saw a better way of doing things that makes much more sense, and is certainly going to alleviate a lot of the pressure that's on the Ethereum network now, and will also work with Ethereum in this ability to cross-chain platform projects. And so you just got to get your tokens. So you got to get the Polkadot tokens. You can get those like at Coinbase, Kraken, what have you. So Acala is going to be a fintech company, and so it's going to have these automatic market maker components to it, but I think it's also going to have a lot of DeFi, kind of like an app store. Like I say, app store for finance, and that could be micro loans. That could be a lot of flash loans. It could be a lot of things that are currently active and strong in the Ethereum marketplace. But I think it's also going to be a sorry, I'm like so tired. I'm like zoning, because it's just like the details of it are like you're gonna get 10 ACA for every dot that you contribute roughly. And so this is what happens is you stake, and they're going to give you a certain amount. So every Polkadot I stake, let's say I say 10 Polkadot in there, roughly about $37 a pop now. So for $370, they're going to give me 10 Acala per each. They're going to be 100 Acala tokens. So how much is the Acala token worth? It's to be determined, but it's something you have to live with for 2 years. So you have to have a bit of a long vision if you're willing to contribute to these. But my Karura, I did this for the Kusama network, and my Karura, because the Kusama network is just under the Polkadot network, as their test network, it paid me very handsomely. Like it's only I got maybe 6 more months to go on it before I can take it out, but I was given a very nice bunch of Karura tokens. And so join the waitlist, get your Polkadot JS browser extension. It's just your wallet. You have to have a wallet. You're gonna want a wallet. Maybe this is a good time to get if you don't have it that interacts with the Polkadot network, because Polkadot network wallet it's much like MetaMask in that it can access different chains, and you're probably unaware of it because you've just been working on the Ethereum network. But you can utilize the wallet to interact with a lot of test networks, and we're kind of fun in sort of early development days. Now, not so, kind of still fun, just very hard to get tokens. So the current dot wallet allows you to move into the Kusama network and all the other parachains that are coming. So it's going to be important to have a JS wallet because you're going to be able to access a lot of different parachains. And so Binance, Coinbase, Kraken for everybody in between. Hello, Binance friends internationally. Nobody uses Binance in the United States unless you're doing VPN. So, but I use Coinbase. Coinbase is, classic. I still use it quite often, along with a lot of other exchanges. Honestly, they're so limited in Coinbase right now and what they offer. And so just get the extension, the wallet, and then just get some Polkadot coins and upload them. Just be ready, because that's the thing. You're gonna have a very finite time. You're gonna get this email, and it's gonna be very, much like this. It's just very organized and say, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to put it, this wallet, and it starts with a 1 because Polkadot crowd loan starts with a 1. The Polkadot wallets tend to start with a 1, and so you have to be ready. And so once you're ready for that, you can go into staking with Acala. And again, I'm just giving this because I've gotten a lot of questions about this, about how to get in early, how to get in on drops, how to get in on, and this is a safe bet. This isn't an IDO. This is something that's, for me, no financial advice, far safer. I was so much more comfortable, staking in a sense, with this proof of stake system that is Polkadot, because I have the assurance that I'm going to get my thing back. I'm going to get my coins back. And so what market level they'll be at, you hope it's just going to grow, but you won't know. But you at least know that those coins, those tokens are coming back to you. And after the system's done, and then on top of it, you're going to get a nice bit of coin for you. And so, I think that's kind of it. I wanted to talk about Sol and give you an update about Acala, because I promised you I would. BitCountry is still growing, and I should have some updates about that pretty soon. This is the thing, is like, this is such a fast moving space that when you're very early in on certain project, they just take forever. They feel like they take forever to get to a place where you're like, hey, I can talk about them. But there's so many projects that are growing and looking for value and asking that question, like, how are you going to make me rich? SOLCities, how are you going to make me rich? They're going to try and give you money. They're going to give you Sol back, 50% of what they're making. And again, $3 million is not bad for that marketplace. It's very, very good. It's a hit. It's just like, in terms of I think a lot of Hollywood movies these days would love $3 million in a day. And so being how hard it is right now. And so, but projects like, Mechaverse and others like it, are just like mega hits that are making a ton of money. And, but putting a strain on networks and very hard to access. Like, if you wanted to participate, in something like that, it's just like, what is it, the 10 ETH floor now? It's crazy. So this is why I'm looking at SOLCities, or looking at the Solana network, as I'm seeing innovation within NFTs at that marketplace. And I think at that marketplace you can also trade with a bit of ability for to be viewed in the marketplace. So if you place your project there, I feel like people can see it, because it's not extremely large like OpenSea is currently. Okay, that's about it. Have a great weekend, guys. Please like, subscribe. I do this live to try and bring you stuff like the cats and stuff that are, you can just go mint that right now. Just go mint, and corrupt cats, and it's just like, if you want to get involved, and this is the thing, is like, the barrier of entry to some of these is much more acceptable, and without the gas wars. You keep hearing that, I'm sure, the gas wars. Well, these, they affect the price a lot. Like, you've seen sort of on this show, like $20,000 gas. Like, it's insane. Like, I just want to buy one $20,000 gas, and it just doesn't make sense to try and like get involved in a system like that, because you start so under in the hole, and when you're trying to make a sell, you have to incorporate like all your gas fees, and it becomes intimidating. And I think something like Solana, Immutable X, these great places that are popping up they're very focused clearly on NFTs and providing a good NFT experience. Solana has a long way to go. I want to see rarities on marketplaces. I want to understand what my rarities are. And I need one place to look at that. I don't want to keep referring back to rarity cards and sort of like trying to, oh yeah, look at this bandana. I just want to see it. And so as they get there, they'll develop it. Same with Immutable X. I think it's a great developing place. Go get those crows now. I think they're going to be pretty pricey in a few weeks. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I do this live to get you this stuff so you can act on it. I hope it helps. And I'm glad it helps. Thank you for writing me and sending messages that this does help, because it's